Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. We are back with a producer discussion, and the question of the day is, are trap beats dead? And the reason I asked this is because we had Jay Cactus on in our new Discord. I'll leave the Discord below. It's a simple link though. It's BusyWorksBeats.com/Discord. I almost forgot the link. But shout out to Jay Cactus because he was talking on stage and he made a good point. Well, he's really into drill. He understands the culture, the sound selection, everything. So shout out to Jay Cactus. He's really thorough about drill. Now, as I was listening to the folks asking questions about drill, I was thinking in my head, is trap dead? And the reason I asked that is because the reason trap is so special, the same way hip hop is so special, is it's based on the drums. And once you understand that trap is based on the drums, then you realize how important it is because drums are the foundation of records. So for example, in hip hop, let's take it all the way back. Let's go back in time a little bit. So if you take it back to like 1990, 1980, you had the boom bap drum breaks. Let me practice a little bit. You know, those type of drums. We don't really dance to that music anymore. If you look at the culture of music, let's just look at a macro, non-granular approach to music. Music is really based on the dance culture of that time. Like, for example, in the 70s, they would do all these, that funk dance, the quick, jukey movements and stuff like that. And that was just cool back then. That was the thing to do. Okay. And they had a lot of language and lexicon around that culture. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's funky diggy, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right on, my brother. I don't know all the terms. I wasn't born there. Then you had the 80s, which is more like rock influenced, more rebellious type stuff. And then you moved into the 90s, which was the sampling era. But the common denominator in the 90s was that drum break. I didn't practice this. My point in saying all this is to say that drums create the foundation of hip hop. For example, you could swap out the sample on top. You could put a piano sample. You could have a vocal choir sample. You could have an electronic sample. But the drums are what make it hip hop in this case, because we're not using any synthesized drums or stuff like that. It was mostly drum breaks for the boom bap era. Then we move into the 2000s. We got synthesized drums. We got the punchy kicks from the Roland TR-808 kit that we still use since the 70s or 80s, whenever it came out. And it was more clean. It was less dirty and grimy and more clean because we dealt with the sample issues of the 90s. And so we move into the 2000s, which is the T-Pain era, the Lil Wayne era, the 50 Cent era, basically. Man, the 2000s had so much going on in hip hop specifically. Now, that was the transition from the boom bap drums into this modern kind of dance music that we're moving into. And again, you got to remember back then when Jay-Z was popping, all those artists, we were dancing differently back then. Like the dances were different. We were doing, I would do it on cam, but I mean, I can't Harlem Shake. But the Harlem Shake? Wait, I forget how to do it. You can't even see me anyway. But we would do the Harlem Shake. We would do the... what is that thing called? I forget the names of the dances, but my point is the dances were way different back then. There was a lot of unique dances, and it was based on your region because back then a lot of regions didn't have internet really back then. So everything was based on that neighborhood and what they understood. Like Southern music was different than Eastern music, and it was different from West Coast music. Now we're all on the internet. We are on one playing field, and we tend to make the same type of music for the most part, as far as pop music goes, as far as hip hop, pop sounds in hip hop. You know what I mean? So in that era, we were using those clean sounds, but it was still the drums that made stuff hip hop. It was the rhythms that made stuff hip hop. You can hear, I just listened to a Britney Spears record called Circus, and you could hear the influence from hip hop on those records. There's another record, Toxic. There's another one on there. I forgot the name of the record, but it's a Britney Spears record, and it sounds very Timbaland Pharrell-ish. Okay, so it's the rhythm and the drums that make that sound. You can put any artist on top of that foundation, and it will fit. That's why hip hop is so influential, because it's literally the foundation for every genre except, I'd say, country, because country, they're even using trap drums in some records. And by trap drums, we're talking about the 808, the snares that we love, the hi-hats that we love. They're using more synthetic stuff as opposed to acoustic stuff in some records, not all records, but they're more open to it. And just understand hip hop and trap is a foundational layer to all these other things that people are adding on top, the fusion stuff on top. What makes it trap is the drum patterns, is the rhythm. And that's what I'm saying. So moving into late 2000s, then we get into trap. We got Lex Luger. Shout out to Lex Luger, who definitely created a pathway. I wanted to acknowledge him because he acknowledged me, and I want to thank you for that. As well as a whole bunch of folks who are influential as far as trap. There's too many to name. And they paved the way, and they created a sound. So now we move into the trap era, which is the drums. The drums are changing. So let's go back in time a bit. 70s had funk drums. 80s had kind of rock big drums, like big room drums. Then the 90s had sample drum break drums. Then you had the 2000s that had more clean, pristine drums because they were getting away from the sample issues. Then you had from the clean, pristine drums, then we moved to whoever designed the 808, the modern 808 that we have today. We need to find whoever designed the first hard 808. Like whoever designed that first 808 that had the body to it and density to it. I think we found the best bass in the world. The 808 has to be the best bass in the world. My point is, we went through all these transitions, and now we went from the clean sound over to the trap sound, which is still hard, but it's clean at the same time. And that era is why I'm asking this question. Are we changing the foundational rhythm? Because if you look at TikTok, if you look at YouTube, even when they have the YouTube shorts, if you look at any kind of social media, even Instagram, social media content piece, all the dances are different now. They have moves to it. They have steps to it. It's like, all the people doing like cheer routines basically on the TikToks. So it's different because I went to college during the whole Rihanna Drake run with Rick Ross and French Montana and Big Sean and Meek Mill. That was the pinnacle of party music. Like the pinnacle, in my opinion. It was the greatest party music ever to be ever made that's my opinion. But the problem was when you went to dances and parties, everybody was just grinding. There was no actual dance. It was just like grinding, or you would kind of sway with your partner. That was it. There was no like dance moves on the dance floor. And I honestly thought in my head at that time, I said, dancing will never be here again. But thank God for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram culture, because they brought back like dances. The only dance back in my day that was like popular was the Dougie, and nobody knew how to do it because it was too hard. So it was just grinding, and that was it. So my point is to say that now that culture has shifted, the rhythms shift, okay? Because now we have all these, different dances which require more than just grinding to a beat, okay? And that's shifting the actual music that we make to make people dance that type of way. So hopefully you're seeing the timeline of why I think trap beats are dead. Now, not that I think they're dead, but I think they're going to switch the fundamental rhythm over to something like a drill. I can't say the drill will take over, but this is the hypothesis I want to bring to you to see your opinion on this. And I wish I could have done this live, but I want to pre-record it for a lot of reasons. So put it this way. If the fundamental rhythm is going from that trap where the snares on the 3 and the 7 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's trap, okay? Now drill is a little bit different. Drill is on the 3 and the 8 count, depending on what style of drill you use. And again, J Cactus has a whole channel on YouTube about how to make drill beats. Okay, so in my opinion, drill goes on the 3 and the 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Or you could do the UK style, which is the 4.5 and the 7. So you don't need you definitely don't need to memorize all this because we have this in a course package called Beat Magic. So if you go to busyworksbeats.com/beat magic, I'll leave a link below so you don't get lost. But basically in that course, I show you how to make beats. And in the course, I show you how to do different genres like drill, for example. There's different styles of drill. There's Chicago drill, UK drill, New York drill. Okay, so there's all different styles. My point is, in the UK, before it became popular in the US due to Pop Smoke, RIP, it was the 4.5 and the 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me do a clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. That was their rhythm. It was a little different because America wasn't used to hearing the snare on the 4.5 count. It was just an odd place to put a snare for us. So that's why I think Pop Smoke kind of revolutionized it, because he merged the UK influence with the New York expectation, creating what we consider New York drill or modern day drill. And I love drill because all the countries have their own styles. Like J Cactus had a room on his Discord. And again, you could join our Discord at busyworksbeats.com/Discord to keep up with these conversations, because this is where we learn how to move forward as a culture. So in the conversations, they were talking about French drill and UK drill and all the different countries, like Arabic drill, like crazy stuff, Algerian drill. Okay, so it just shows how everybody's really proud to bring their sauce on top of chicken. So if drill is like a meat, then we're pouring our own sauce on top of the meat. So it's like you have barbecue chicken, fried chicken. I don't know how to cook, so garlic and herb chicken. It's about as far as I can go. Okay, and you could change the sauce on top of the chicken, but the primary thing is that it's chicken underneath. That's drill. And everybody's excited because they're like, oh my God, I got my special sauce I can put on this chicken. And that's what I think is going to be exciting for drill moving forward. Now, the only issue I could say that will keep trap alive is the only thing I could think about in drill is that it's a little difficult to dance to unless you have a very specific rhythm. Like the rhythm has to have enough hi-hats to make it bouncy, almost like an old Jay-Z beat. It has to feel almost like an old Jay-Z beat for people to really get into that dance mode. Right now, it's very rhythmic and very catchy, but remember that music is backed by culture. So if nobody's out at the clubs dancing to this stuff, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like making dope battle beats and nobody listens to battle beats and picks them for their album. So it's like you make hard beats, but they're not necessarily going to be picked for an album. And that's the debate. And I want to hear your responses. And the reason I didn't go live is because I wanted to make sure that it didn't get interrupted. I wanted to make sure we could film all the way through. Thankfully, OBS is helping us today. And I want to say, if you're new here, you love our conversations, we're going to have more live conversations. You just have to join our Discord. So go to busyworksbeats.com/Discord because it's a brand new Discord. And here's where you can actually talk using your phone, microphone. You can use your computer. And, you know, we have it very organized. So it's not just people just talking out of nowhere. It's actually a very organized thing. And if you want to check out our recent conversation, go back on our channel, a couple videos, and you'll see our conversation we had live on YouTube through Discord. So those are the conversations we're going to have moving forward. And I want you to be a part of it. So go to busyworksbeats.com/Discord and join the producer community. It's the first time you get to, in real time, you can live stream on there for free. You don't need OBS, I don't think. You can live stream directly through Discord. You could do voice chats with folks to learn tips. You could watch people live stream to see their process. You could see different live streams. It's not like you have to lock into one. You could get tips from the archives. There's thousands of free things on there. I put a lot of free stuff on there. I'm going to be putting more free stuff on there. I want you to really benefit from joining us because this is what's going to create change. And we have to understand how to create change together so we're on the same accord. So will drill take out trap? I guess that's the final question I have for you. This video is running a little long, but will drill take out trap? That's the question I have for you. Let me know in the comments below. Peace. And if you're new here, subscribe. Peace.